Any questions on fixing the foundation? Yes, Mike?
Are you going to go with a candida cleanse, what you recommend, or what you told us yesterday, what you do for the candida cleanse itself?
You mean with the enzymes and the lymphatic and...
I thought you had a specific one with the greens and the avocados.
Oh, you want to do the ketogenic? Okay. Okay. Okay, there's so much from yesterday. There's a lot in here. Usually I can't find my keys, but everything else stays there. So, is everybody done with this mess? You good? Okay. All right, so we were talking yesterday about candida, and I think it migrated into my story of my friend. And I started to tangent off about the Gershon Institute. Is anyone familiar with that? Yeah, okay. So, what they did to cure issues with encapsulated proteins. I'm going to draw more pictures for you because that's fun. Won't take long. Okay. Who's familiar with the ketotic diet or ketogenic diet or ketosis? Good, okay. In the Gershon Institute, what they used to do for cancer, and still do today, has anyone ever studied that protocol? So what they did was one fresh pressed juice every hour, okay? And when we're talking about alkaline, and cancer can't survive in an alkaline environment, what they were trying to do was provide the body with oxygen, because alkalinity means OH. It means more oxygen, less hydrogen. So the concept was good, the theory was wrong. What they are trying to do now is take waste products out in order to clear out the metabolic system and change the fuel source. Okay? What's the one big thing they tell you should not have in your body if you're dealing with cancer? Sugar. What's sugar feed? Yeast, candida, okay? So when we're looking at the cycle, this whole process here is called lactic acidosis. It's where we eat something, okay, and let's say sugar. It gets taken in by the cell. The byproduct of that metabolism is a positive ion, a hydrogen. Gets thrown into the blood, and that's called lactic acidosis. The cell then produces waste, and there's 4 waste products here that it actually produces. And then it goes to the liver, and the liver is supposed to filter out the waste and the system goes on. But the more bad choices you make, the more acidic your body becomes, right? The less oxygen. So then all of a sudden it was alkaline. Everyone be alkaline. But see, the blood can't be alkaline or acidic. It has to be 7.35 or you die. So really when you're alkaline your body, you're working with digestion. Okay? So we now know 6464 is optimal. So what we were talking about yesterday was the Gershon Institute had this part of the equation down. They had people do juicing, fresh pressed juice every hour when they went in for treatment, and all different kinds, especially greens, to pull the waste products out and for enzymatic activity and all that good stuff. And then they supported the liver. What did they make people drink in order to get all 24 B vitamins? Frozen liver cubes, 3 times a day. That sounds delicious. So that's the new product coming out, frozen liver. No, it's not, I'm kidding. So they would have them drink frozen liver cubes 3 times a day because it provided the liver with desiccated liver, pretty much, with all the B vitamins. And there are 24 B vitamins, 3 which are banned in this country. Why, I don't know. But there are 24. And liver is really the only food that has them all. Apple cider vinegar is a very close second. Okay? So with the ketosis diet or ketotic diet or ketogenic, what we replace here, that sugar, is with fat, right? Healthy fats, very healthy fats. And so this metabolism then changes. 3 days into what's called the fasting mimicking diet, and I'll give you what that is in a minute, you get what's called the ketotic flu. Does anyone know what that is? Brain fog and all kinds of stuff. All right? So this fat replaces the sugar, and this is eliminated. And so lactic acidosis of the blood stops. When you put this plus this in conjunction now, it's a great way to offset encapsulated proteins in the body. Gershon had a 50 to 70% cure rate, 90 to 100. Make sense? It's going to drastically bring down candida in the body. Okay? Now, the fasting mimicking diet, what they recommend is you do that once a month or once every other month. I'm not going to lie to you, it's super difficult. Okay? But once you're done, you feel awesome. So, your fasting mimicking diet is 2 avocados a day and 2 green drinks. And when I did this with my group, I had a cleanse group going, and you do that for 5 days. That's where it gets tough.
Does it matter how much?
What's that?
Does it matter how much? Green drinks, juicing?
2.
Yeah, but I mean,
Nope, this is it. This is a whole different system. When you do what's called the fasting mimicking diet, it literally means that. 2 avocados, 2 green drinks a day, and water and salt.
What volume on the drink?
Hang on. 1 serving of whatever green drink. So 8 ounces, 16 ounces. I don't care how much water you put it in, but it's still 1 serving. Does that make sense? Okay, so 1 scoop of the lean greens.
Breakfast, dinner.
It's up to you. I did breakfast, dinner. As when I was hungry. Lunch I could, it's all right. I can work through lunch. So you also want to add Himalayan salt. Now, by day 3, you're pretty much sick of looking at avocados. Okay? So you can substitute other good fats. 2 tablespoons of macadamia nuts. You can substitute in 2 tablespoons of coconut oil or real whole fat coconut milk, or a tablespoon of butter. And by day 3, all that stuff sounds delicious.
What was the last one?
Butter, but it has to be organic, raw, tablespoon, sorry. Now, I will tell you, when you do this with people, they struggle. It's not something you throw on somebody the first time, okay? This would be for somebody who's really been trying to change their diet, maybe thinking about going ketogenic. This is a good way to throw it in and say, once a month, try this on your ketogenic diet. But you shouldn't be in ketosis all the time. What this was set up for was epileptics. It was set up for brain health. It wasn't meant for weight loss. It wasn't meant for anything else. It was meant to build the brain. So this ketogenic, although great and wonderful, it's not something you do all the time. It's part of what you do, part of a whole nutritious, full spectrum, colorful eating plan based on non-GMO, organic, tree, ground, run, swim, fly. Okay? But this is a good way to kick your body into burning fat instead of sugar, clear out some bad cells. It's a cleanse. It really is a cleanse in itself, and it's difficult. Okay? The other thing that I support is the liver. And you want to use something that has some form of desiccated liver in it.
Not apple cider vinegar.
No, can't use apple cider vinegar. You're not allowed. Don't forget your salt. Go ahead, go ahead.
How much salt?
As much as you need. I know, you're such a rockwater. She really wants to know how much. Some. Listen to your body. Some people needed more salt. Some people needed less. You know what I mean? Some people were like, yeah, I was fine.
Muscle test.
Yeah, you could tip test it, muscle test it.
I need more?
That's right. There you go. Look at you.
Did you mix the avocado in with the greens? Make a smoothie?
No, I didn't. You could. I mean, you could. I did not. I wanted to eat something.
And the second thing, how much average weight loss in 5 days?
Well, the 5 days, my clients lost between 10 and 12 pounds. But it was mostly, think about it, inflammation. I mean, that's what they were losing. When they came off the diet, then again, and back to whole food eating, the average weight gain back was 3 pounds, but then they held there. Now, if they would repeat this in a month or two, they'd probably see the same type of weight loss, inflammation decrease, and basically what you're doing is you're mimicking our ancestors. They didn't always have access to food, right? So they would go through periods of fasting and periods of just animal fat and protein and periods of just harvesting for things, right? So this whole ketogenic was kind of based on going in and out of ketosis, not staying in ketosis. It's not beneficial.
So during this, to support the liver, would you probably do like the liver gallbladder tincture or liver clear or something
You could.
like that?
Mhm.
Okay, and then of course you obviously can drink as much water.
Yes, yeah, drink water, and I would tell people just put salt in your water throughout.
Okay. or
Keep
on
your
your
minerals
avocado,
up.
maybe,
What's that?
Or on your avocado.
Yeah, I did. I salted my avocado. I put salt in my water. When I felt I needed it, I took it in. It's not easy. I'm just putting that out there because I struggled, and
The 10-day
I consider
detox,
pretty, huh?
I did the 10-day detox at Nutritional Frontier.
Okay.
It's not easy. 5/10 might be.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, day 3, you're just looking at that avocado like, I'd rather starve right now. Yep, I'd rather starve.
So on day 3, do you replace one of the avocados with the fats or add it to?
You replace. And you will be so grateful. You'll be like, yeah, macadamia nuts. Yes. And you eat them one at a time, savor them up.
You could only do the 2 tablespoons like of the macadamia nuts.
Each time, you could do macadamia nuts in the morning and macadamia nuts at night, right? So twice a day. Those servings would be twice a day. Dr. Schmidt, if you go to YouTube and you look up Dr. Schmidt, that's wrong, SCHMIDT, and just Google keto or fasting mimicking diet, he'll come up. He's very sciencey. I like him a lot. This moves pH really fast. It also has you lose clients really quick. No, I'm just kidding. They're like, see ya, your cleanse group stinks. No, I'm just kidding. People, once they got through it, felt great. But it was the highest struggling cleanse I did on my group. And we did 90 days of different cleanses. Not all in a row. We took breaks, but we started out with just emulsified lemon water. And then we did, flush your body with greens. And then, we just threw out. At the end of 90 days, this was the last one, and I told him this will be the hardest. And it was. So, yes, sir.
Wondering if you could do once a week. Would that work?
I would say that'd probably be too much. Once a month is really what they recommend on this.
No, just one day on that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, fasting for 12 hours, intermittent fasting, all of that is very beneficial and healthy to the body. It helps stabilize blood sugar levels, which is the complete opposite of what we're taught with unstable blood sugars. Okay? This balances blood sugars very well, but keep in mind that lipase and lipids are very valuable for insulin stability. So when I see unstable blood sugar, I see gallbladder, lipase, and deficiency protein problems. I don't look at sugars that much, not unless they're eating like pie every day, but look at fat metabolism for blood sugar. People start or stop diets depending on their goal. So if you have a goal like, say, you had a head injury, or you're having memory issues, or whatever the reason was you started with ketogenic, and you started it, you felt better, you did this, you felt better, you continued on ketogenic, you felt great, and then all of a sudden things started to come back, that's usually your body going, enough. It's like juice cleanses. Like when people get on juice cleanses, how long do I do? Until you get hungry. When you're hungry, you're done. Your body will let you know. You usually get about 3 or 4 days, they get hungry, they start eating again. And then you would walk back up off of a juice cleanse or a ketogenic. Like I wouldn't suggest after the ketogenic that you run out and eat like, a pie. A steak would be good, right? Nuts would be good. You could step into proteins. You also have to support, the organs that are involved in the system. You want to support the liver, support the gallbladder. It's important. Good question. You're welcome. Huh? Yeah, good answer. You need that diet as long as you need it. Correct? Okay, so let's summarize here. Education, good microbiome. We know that flourishes at that optimal pH. Okay? Parasites, candida, viruses, bacteria, they live everywhere outside of that number. So supplementation is necessary, but if you teach them the foundations, they'll use supplements appropriately, supplementally to a great healthy lifestyle. Teach your clients, empower them. Okay? Heal and seal the gut. This is the one thing that we're missing. All right? And those programs are set up for a reason the way they're set up. People smarter than me have put them together so it's easy in my life. I can go there and pick something up and say, yay, there we go. Here's your cleanse and here's how you heal and seal at the end. Okay? If you have holes in your screens, put some tape on them. All right? Fix that face you see. Now you have some MRT points. You have some face, tongue, nail stuff. I didn't teach you the nail stuff, but I can if you want. But you can look at somebody and see adrenal stress. You can see digestive issues. Okay? You can see lack of water. You can see mineral deficiency. And you can triangulate, even if it's just for your own confidence, to say, oh, I do see that on her face and in her tongue, and yes, the MRT point checks out, so we're going to do this. Digestive enzymes, in my world, I think they're a must. Your pancreas gets busy. He's either busy balancing blood sugar or releasing enzymes, and he will choose. He'll shut down one process over another. Go ahead.
Do you use digestive enzymes with your kids?
Yes, I do. Yep. Sometimes I'll break them open, depending on what they need. Most of the time I'm trying to teach them to eat their enzymes, but that doesn't always work. Or they go to my parents' house and my parents destroy them. And then when I get them back, I have to give them lots of enzymes. But I was telling a story. I was away for 9 days teaching at Trinity, and I'm Skyping with my 7-year-old, and he's at my parents' wolfing down a 20-piece chicken nugget. And I'm like, ugh. So I had to take some rescue remedy and some Calm Day. Once I recovered and stopped loathing, I said to him, I was like, buddy, and he's like, he was just in my face doing it because he knew I couldn't do anything about it. So the next day, my mom calls me and she's like, John has a bladder infection. I was like, yeah, he does, because there's all that undigested, unprocessed protein flowing through his system and now dumping into his bladder. I was like, go get my Cybezyme and break it open or have him swallow it. Now he's 7, he can swallow capsules. So I had him do 3 Cybezyme in between meals, not even with his meals, just to clean everything out. And I only had to do that one day, little colloidal silver, and he was fine. But yeah, enzymes, grandparents, you're going to need enzymes. Go ahead.
Can you tell us a little bit about the nails?
You want to know about the nails? Sure. Let me finish my last point. Okay. Determine the source of stress, manage it. Okay. And appropriate assimilation. Remember, speed of digestion matters. Okay. All right. So it's been a long day. I appreciate your time. If you want to ask me more questions, go ahead. Or do you want me to cover face, tongue, and nails? I'm not insulted. If you get up and leave, you can go. You do. Okay. All right. So everybody get out your fingers. Well, they're already out, right? Try to use my marker. This is going to be a great drawing. Okay, so the nail kind of looks like this, right? And we have this little thing here. It's good enough. You get it. All right, so if this is the nail bed, there's certain things that I look for, okay? See this moon? Lanula. Isn't that such a pretty word? Lanula. That's called a moon in my world. They should be on every finger except for your pinky. If you have them on your pinky, that indicates a little bit of heart stress. I just went blind. Okay? The size of them matter. Smaller is less circulation. Bigger is too much circulation. He's good. We like babies. You're fine. He's fine. Okay? If you have redness like this around your cuticle, that's a good sign of parasites.
What's that?
Parasites.
Which ones?
Red around your cuticle, like around here. It'll be all red and a little bit swollen, like around the nail. You can see that a lot on kids. Now let me just give you a little insight here on kids with the moons. How many people have no moons? You might have them on your thumb, okay? So that will tell me a couple things. When you don't have moons, it's telling me lack of circulation. It's a really big indicator for me that we got some thyroid dysfunction. Okay, then I would probably muscle test thyroid, which is here, 2 fingers. Test the strength on the client, right? Right here in the little part, this little like nub, groove, whatever you want to call it, that's iodine. So when I test thyroid, I test how strong is your thyroid. I put my finger right here at the base of the throat in that little nub, gently, don't choke somebody. I test, are you getting enough iodine? Then I'll do 3. 2 here, 1 in the iodine point. Are we assimilating it? Okay? So if I get strong here, weak here, I know I get an iodine issue, right? If I'm weak on my iodine, which means eventually the thyroid will go, okay? I may look at the nails then and be like, huh, no moons. You're heading down a bad path. Let's give that thyroid some love, okay? I may look at the eyes, look for the adrenals, see what's being affected. I look for lines, and these will be like underneath the nail bed, white, thin lines. That's nutrients, lack of minerals, deficiency. You're not assimilating your nutrients. And the first thing someone will say to me, but I take a multivitamin. You're not getting it. Okay, might be the wrong one, might not be quality, pH might be off. Okay. If you have thick lines that are raised, literally you can feel them when you run across the fingers, that is a very good sign that you have an underlying candida issue. Where else could I look to see if there is yeast? The tongue, right? I would say, can I see your tongue? Okay. See if there's a coating. And then if I really wanted to be sure, I could muscle test. You guys are awesome. Look how awesome you're going to be. Raise your prices. Totally. Okay? If I have lines going this way, like a bump. Does anybody have bumps on their nails that are horizontal, so they go across and you can feel them? Your nails grow out in 6 months. So when people think I'm magical, I'll look at their nails and say, oh, there's like a divot in the nail there, halfway. So what happened 3 months ago that was stressful? And they'll go, how did you know that? These are stress ridges. People who have a lot of them are extremely stressed out. If you have a lot of them on your thumb, your adrenals are so shot that it's affecting your immune system. That is spleen. Okay? Oh, my little stress ball in the front. Look at you. She's like, guess who has a lot of them on her thumb? Oh, yeah, I do. But they're getting better because I have now addressed my stress. Okay. I look for heavy bands of color. So if this is the moon, this is your little lanula, this is your moon. If you have like a heavy band of color of red right above it, or even a heavy band up here of red where like your tip of your fingernail is, that's liver congestion. Does anybody have a red band? You have a red band? Okay, good. Not good, but okay, thank you for sharing. Here's what I meant to say. It's not great. Now, if you have like red band, white in between, red band, or red band and a white band. White band is kidney. So you'll see it kind of like this. It'll be like a red band of color, pretty thick, then a red band down here, and then this will be like very white. Okay? That's kidney. So I either know you need trace minerals, you need hydration, or your kidney needs drained. You need some sort of kidney support. Go, Joe.
Are these symptoms or characteristics on every nail, or can they only be on one?
They could be on one. Now each finger means something, but that's a whole new class. You're going to have to pay me for that one. No, I'm just kidding. Joking. Each finger corresponds to an organ system. You can look all this up. There's lots of books out there if you want to learn more, but this is a class we teach. Yes, sir.
What are these folks called?
Oh, Dr. Chi is a good one, CHI. You can Google on Amazon or at the local library, look up face, tongue, nail analysis. I can't think of Deborah's last name, who wrote the book that I like. If it comes to me, I'm sorry, guys, I'll think about it. But Dr. Chi is a good one. Any traditional Chinese medicine will do this. Okay, lots of good stuff. I think you guys have a good face, tongue. You have a good face, tongue, nail description. Yeah, Nutritional Frontiers has it. Okay. What else did I miss, Lynn? Parasites were here. Chicka, 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 chicka. Oh, if your nail beds are very white, very light in color, I mean super white, not just, and when you look at your nails, don't do this. Do this. Because when you do this, what are you doing? You're restricting circulation, right? Everybody's like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Oh, wait, I'm okay. Never mind, I'm good. I'm good. Okay? Do it this way. Right? Then look for your bands, look for things. Now, what if you have white dots on the nail? Zinc, right? If you only have them on one, it depends on the finger. If they're on your ring fingers, that's usually reproduction. Okay, I would look, if it was a woman, I'd be looking at hormones. Yeah, that's a good one. I wanted to do two more, and now I forget the other one. Clubbing. Does anyone know what clubbing is? It's where you get a very rounded nail bed from the side. It literally comes up like that. So if this is somebody's finger, it'll club up and be very wide. That's breathing issues. You're going to see that on people that have diagnosed lung issues. One other one I look for, what is it? Oh, from the front, if you have a nail bed, it kind of scoops down like this. So if you go like this to somebody and you're looking at their fingers and their nail beds are kind of flat or scoopy, that's digestive issues. Scooping in the middle of the nail too. So if the nail kind of scoops down in the middle, okay, and it kind of divots down, that's digestive issues. Yes, sir?
Some people call this that the nails crack real easily.
Yeah, that usually tells me either mineral deficiency or we have candida issues. And color will tell you a lot too. Yellowing is a good sign of yeast. And don't just look at these nails. Look at your toenails, okay? That's where you can tell a lot about a person's health. Thick, ingrown toenails or nutrient deficiencies. That's actually enzyme problems. Yes.
Two things. What was the red bands again?
Liver. Liver congestion. White bands are kidney.
And what about a bluish or grayish?
Okay, that was the next point. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so if you have white undertone, I think I skipped that. I didn't even tell you what it was. I just tangented it off. Whee! If you have a white base, that is iron deficiency normally, or low circulation, low hemoglobin, low oxygenation of some sort. If you have a very purple base, very heavy dark undertone, that's usually coagulation. It's usually too much stuff in the blood and oxygenation is not happening. It's getting stagnant. Okay, so some sort of like greens would be good there. Get some oxygen to the liver, give the oxygen to the blood. When I see red undertone or purpley, I go right after the liver. And start muscle testing, start triangulating. So if you see white base on the nails, real white. And you think, there's not a lot of oxygen flowing through that blood. I might go to the tongue and look for B12 deficiency because I know that leads to iron. I might check the anemia point. Right, yeah. I might check the iron point, which is right here on the right hip. So where the leg meets the hip, that's iron. You just put your hand right there on the person, muscle test. Their tongue will be white too. Where else can you see iron deficiency or anemia? Pull the eyelid down, that underneath part, if it's white. Good. Any questions? Does everyone have to pee? Everyone's like getting up. It's like, we're out of here.
What did you say about ingrown toenails?
Ingrown toenails are digestive issues. Protein assimilation mostly.
What happens if somebody loses a toenail? They just, like, sometimes they just fall off.
Their toenails just fall off, like
Yeah.
completely?
Yeah.
Is it because they're thickening?
No, it was just,
They just fell off. I would look at nutrients. I would look at circulation too on that person.
Okay.
Absolutely. Like if their toenails are just falling off, check circulation, check candida, look at their nails. Okay? Good? We good? Everyone's approaching me. Why are we approaching me? Okay. I'm like, what did I do? All right. Any other questions? Well, thank you very much. I hope you had as much fun as I did.